Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the Redragon Trundle keyboard and the Logitech G502 mouse. And I wanted to do reviews of these products because I had been switching over to doing more PC gaming and everything, but I kind of wanted these kind of peripherals that would work in a kind of work scenario, but also in a gaming scenario as well. The thing is, trying to find keyboards and mice and reviews like that is a fucking hard prospect anymore. You don't know who's sponsored, who's not. You're confused on what kind of options you should be going for. These two worked out well for me because I've been doing them for a while. I've been testing them. I wanted to use them with USB extenders so I could like work here and then shift on over to my bed to play video games, because that way it's kind of a different kind of matter, so that way you're not completely in your workspace and your game space. And God, trying to find stuff was definitely hellacious, but I like these because I found them at good prices and they do what I want. So we'll focus more on the keyboard first. Now granted, I rather would have had this been in just black, but I don't really care that much about the colors. I didn't really care that much about our RGB. This one has a hot swappable, hot swappable switches. So it's mechanical, linear kind of one. Here we go. You could just replace it and everything. Minimal RGB. I've pretty much just, as you can see, you mainly just get this thing here, and I've just turned it to just not have anything on because I don't really care that much about the lighting on that. I'm able to just do my things on it, and it just kind of works. Okay, hold on a minute. Nah, if I unplug it, it might go a little bit weird or whatnot. If you can hear that, it's not really that loud, at least to me. I've gotten used to it. Most of the other keyboards I've had have been pretty much membrane at this point, so trying to wade into these waters is just kind of just weird to me. Trying to find, like, there's channels and everything, but then you're like, you start to get into feature creep and everything. It's like, what do I need and what do I want? And then you're just kind of like GPUs and everything, and you're like, okay, pricing wise, it's like an insane kind of deal to try and figure out what's kind of going on. This one I got for around 60 bucks or whatnot, and at that point, that's kind of the price point that I was trying to look for, and I've just been happy with this. Now granted, there'll be people that are looking at me like, oh, why do you have like a 108? Because I like the numpad, because that's what I utilize for like passwords and stuff like that, and just it's an ease of use thing for me that I like dealing with when I'm doing stuff with different kind of work, but also mainly kind of passwords and all that. And I understand that, like, if you hate that and vehemently don't like a 108, that's completely fine and acceptable. You could probably look into one of these for a smaller kind of configuration keyboard, and I've been happy with this. It sounds great, it works great, getting used to it and utilizing it for gaming. Now granted, have yet to go full onto my like PC gaming mode. I'm waiting for certain kind of games to like kind of come out and then go through on that kind of route to utilize the keyboard and the mouse as effectively as possible. But I'm looking forward to that. This is like cool. I mean, I've got other kind of controllers that I can hook up with as well, Bluetooth wise, from my PlayStation and my Xbox for certain kind of games for that. But I do want to get more into utilizing keyboard and mouse. I have been a PC gamer in the past when I was younger, and we were my family and I would mess around with certain kind of things on the PC, so it'll be interesting to see how that kind of works out. Now, ergonomic wise, it's nice. You can kind of tilt it up, tilt it down. I have it more tilted down and use a wrist rest for both the keyboard and the mouse, and I've got my kind of setup where I can just take this, shift over to my other kind of TV, to do the stuff for the gaming, but we'll see how that kind of works out. That's a different kind of matter, but I've been utilizing this and I've really liked what I've been doing, especially when I'm testing games, just sitting in my chair and doing like this, because I want to make sure the games work. But I'm able to type effectively and all that. The only kind of issue is that, I don't know if you heard that, but the one kind of issue I have with it is that every time you kind of like bump the cable, because this is hardwired, USB-C to USB-A, and it just always does that. I love it. I love it. Only can do this when it's not like... There we go. But yeah, it's a serviceable keyboard. I know it's kind of weird for me to be doing a review like this, but it's kind of like the helmets and whatnot. It's a daily kind of driver. I've liked it. The noise doesn't really bother me that much. It took some getting used to, but I like it. I like the feel of the keys. Like, I don't feel like I have to really press hard to get them to register any kind of keystrokes. My biggest issue when I'm doing kind of certain kind of games and testing out certain things with, like, mainly like a Halo game, is getting used to the controls again as that, since I've mainly been a console gamer for a majority of my gaming experience. Granted, I have done stuff with PC, but I mainly became comfortable with controllers throughout most of my gaming life. So that's my thing. I'm not going to blame the keyboard and the mouse for me trying to get used to a keyboard and a mouse. Then it gets down to how the controls are then bound on certain kind of games, and that gets kind of fucked up, where it's like, why the fuck is this thing here when I've been used to having like less keys on a controller and certain kind of layouts like that. So we'll see how that kind of works out. But for the keyboard portion, Redragon, I've been very happy with this. I haven't need to take out any kind of keycaps. They give you a whole extra set in here to switch out color-wise. You get a puller for the keycaps and for the switches. You evidently have preset 5 gaming modes, but I've just been doing whatever the fuck I kind of want to. Multimedia keys. Yeah. This was about like 60 bucks. Like $54.99, whatnot, when I saw it on sale and whatnot and took a chance on it. And I'm really glad I did. Dustproof red chroma RGB ones. I'll definitely look into this if you're looking on a kind of cheaper end or just want to kind of get into mechanical keyboards and see what's kind of going on with them. Now granted, I have done really like nothing to be in the mechanical kind of keyboard kind of category, but I like this product. It's been working very serviceably for me. You can tell when the numb's on, you can tell when the caps lock is on. It just works. And I like it. And that's pretty much the kind of bar that I've got on certain kind of things. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's mainly in the effect of, okay, when I'm doing these kind of reviews, I want to see if it fits with certain kind of things. Like, if I buy a food that I would like to try, and it says that it's s'mores, and it doesn't taste like s'mores, or it says it's gelato, but it's fucking not gelato, then I'm like, no, it could be the best kind of thing that I've eaten, but I would still be like, this is stupid because this isn't what it says it is. I like this thing, and it's good, but like, no. And there's certain things that I try, and that I don't like, and then I can expound why I don't like them, but these have worked out very well for me, because I was having issues with, because I'd gotten a Corsair pre-built, and I got a Corsair keyboard and a Corsair mouse. The issue that I ran into the effect with the Corsair mouse was that the scroll wheel started going fuckity-doo-dah, fuckity-day on my ass, and it was just kind of bigger and was not comfortable for me to sit with my hand. Now, we'll go into the Logitech G502. I really like this one. Roll around, you little son of a bitch. We've got typical kind of clickies. We've got a nice scroll wheel. We can lock the scroll wheel or let it go to infinite. We've got side buttons and everything. We can change the weight and all that. It's got RGB that I turned to red because red's my favorite color. And the thing is, I really don't use... The thing is, you download the app for the Logitech, and I just turn off the rest of the keys because I usually accidentally click them and don't want weird... weird shit kind of going on with it whenever I'm doing what I'm doing. So, it's just serviceable. It does what a mouse should do. It rolls around and it clicks well. I've liked how it does things in games. Again, it's down to me getting used to it. So, I don't have any recorded footage or anything like that, or I would be like, oh, I was able to get 50 fucking kills in Halo versus 35 or whatnot. It completely and vastly improved my game. No, I need to reacclimate myself to PC controls still, so that's why I'm like kind of different, like keeping that throughput here. I'm still learning about it. And also, trying to play certain games, they are not completely and utterly conductive to keyboard and mouse. I know that I had recently gotten, because I'm rebuilding my library on PC, Tales of Arise. And the thing is, for some fucked up reason, something went weird fucking shit with the mouse, and the fucking camera was spinning, and I was like, what the hell's going on? That was more a thing with the game. It hasn't done that since. But it's getting used to those kind of quirks. It's like, that's not a problem with the mouse because the mouse works perfectly. I'm able to go around, scroll through the internet, do stuff on my work stuff, do stuff in my game stuff, and it normally works. Again, barring what's kind of going on with the program itself with it. But, I mean, it's nice. It's got a nice feel to it. My hand doesn't feel like it's cramped or anything. It fits with my kind of style, because I then, of course, looked up what's going on with, like, mouse grip styles, and that was a whole kind of other kind of thing of being like, what? Do I usually want to go grippy or more just long out, see what kind of goes on with that, because that did affect I had not complete and utter pain, but with the Corsair one, it was this big scimitar one, and it just didn't fit ergonomically with my hand, and this one just does. Now granted, I was looking into other ones, but I would have looked into ones that were Bluetooth, and it just, like, I didn't want to deal with the latency, and a lot of them were just vastly more expensive than what I was seeing was worth it for what I wanted. Now granted, I am not adverse to paying a premium for something that achieves the objectives that I want. That makes sense. I mean, granted, if you want a Ferrari and have the ability to drive around and unleash that motherfucker like ain't nobody's business, and you have the money to do it, and it'll make you happy, and it makes you happy, that's cool. But if you need, like, a minivan, and they want to put the price of that Ferrari on the minivan without providing you the things that you need for that minivan, that makes no sense. You're then paying a vastly exorbitant amount for things that aren't gonna achieve your objectives and aren't gonna be able to do that for you. That's why you have to have good product differentiation and understand what objective and who your target demographic is for a product. Evidently, I'm the target demographic for these products because I'm like, ooh, okay, I'm learning about mechanical keyboards. I'm learning about a good mouse that is able to do stuff for my work and for my gaming. And granted, I could make these buttons do other kind of things, but I usually just turn them off because of the placements of them. Now, if I couldn't turn them off and had to have them set to a certain kind of function, and that every time I would be doing something and clicking something accidentally, this would make this mouse vastly worse for me. Okay? The main objective of being able to turn that kind of stuff off and make it so that way, if I accidentally click it, it doesn't penalize me. That's the thing that saves this. If I couldn't do that, this mouse would not work for me, and I think it would just be like, what? So, that's good on you, Logitech. I can see why people have liked this mouse, and that was around $40-some on a certain kind of sale or whatnot. That's usually around the price that it kind of like settles out. Anyway, but if you are new to gaming, on PC, or like returning to gaming on PC or anything like that, and kind of want to dip your toes into these kind of realms of mechanical keyboards and kind of gaming mice that you can like utilize and still utilize in a kind of work scenario that's not completely nutty. I mean, sure, it's got that kind of gamer aesthetic, but I mean, you could just turn off the lighting and everything and still utilize it effectively. Now, granted, I'm not in a place where I would annoy my coworkers or colleagues or whatnot with a weird kind of thing or real clacky, so I can't attest to that. But I think it's pretty serviceable for what it's able to be done. Like, if you want, these would be two kind of good products to go for that. Now, granted, if I haven't hit any of your pain points or hit any of the things that you need for your objectives, completely disregard my ass and, like, do look into them yourself. Always anymore, you kind of have to get into a kind of testing phase of you buy it, and then hopefully you look into the place and see that they have good return policies. Always do that, because sometimes the only way anymore to understand if a product is going to work for you is to buy it and test it and see if it does, and hope to God that they've got a good return policy or some kind of like exchange kind of program, so that way you can get what you actually need. I hate that we have to be like that, and that I have to say that, but yeah. If these don't have any of the kind of features and are too basic for you, that's cool. Look into the things that you actually kind of want. If you want them to be wireless, if you want them to be Bluetooth, if you want them to have all these kind of things. Because at first I was looking into that, so that way I could like hook it up to my computer during the work time, and then switch it to wireless mode or whatnot, and be able to play from my bed. But I just actually, I didn't want to spend as much on these keyboards and mice that they think that they want to do it. And it's like, that's fine. It's the pricing of the market, but it's, you don't really have that much choice in certain kind of manners. And when you try to find those choices, you then have to dig through the sludge that is trying to get through a search engine anymore. It's goddamn insanity. Things need to change on that front. It's nuts. Like, I understand paying well for features, but there has to be some give and take and some market differentiation of being like, okay, I'm at this kind of price point. Can I get something at that price point? Nope. You either get this pared down fucking shit thing, which has happened in GPUs, or you spend more than you want to get something that's a little bit better, or you spend vastly more than you want that gets the top cream of the crop, but you feel like you've got to sell a kidney, 3 toes, and maybe an earlobe to even fucking try and get close to it, before you then still have to fight a team of like 30 kindergartners that have been turned into vampires to get to the ability to get to the thing. It's nuts. But I like these. I would recommend looking into them, but if they don't fit your objectives, of course, use them as a base of like, okay, like, I know not a lot of people talk about Redragon. I gotten, somebody had pretty much did a sponsor thing and showed off this kind of mouse, and I got it, and it worked out because I'd gotten a pre-built, and the mouse was pretty much shit. So I then got that. I'm like, oh, okay. So I looked into this, and I was very happy with it. I'm like, all right, cool. I saw this Logitech one that people have talked about for years, and the thing is, I thought I had gotten, like, some kind of skin reaction from Logitech mice in the past. Now, those were mainly wireless ones that were smaller, kind of cheaper ones. And I thought I had, like, I thought it irritated my hands or skin condition-wise. This, I've had nothing like that whatsoever. So I'm like, yay, these are all great, and I'm interested to see what'll happen later when I get more into gaming with these kind of things. But yeah, I would recommend these products. So those are my opinions on the keyboard and the mouse. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you like them, if you don't like them, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.